Hey, what's up, my YouTube friends? I've got some health motivation for you today. We're going to talk about some of these crazy celebrities who have thrown their health in the toilet. You really can't put a price on your health. This is Steven Seagal. Man, when I was a teenager, I used to watch the Steven Seagal movies. Steven Seagal is 6'4". Right, here's a more recent picture. Yeah, this is sad, man. I mean, do you know how much you have to overeat if you're 6'4"? Look at the midsection. That's visceral fat that strangles your organs. Yeah, man, it's sad. He's been known as a martial artist, for his whole adult life. To go out like this, he's starting to resemble his cartoon from South Park. Now, he's made so many movies and he's had a television show. He probably has all the money in the world. But what good is all that money if you don't live to spend it? Yeah, we've probably all been in that situation before where we have a problem and everybody who sees us knows we do, but we don't. What do you think he eats? Probably just garbage. What is his problem? In my opinion, he's a psychopath. Now, psychopaths are great at a lot of things, hurting people, deception, manipulation. But self-control is not something they're good at. They have impulsivity, irresponsibility, lack of realistic long-term goals. What would you do if you were Steven Seagal? I mean, there is the point, if he has a heart attack, nobody would be surprised. But even if he lives, I mean, the way he is, that's humiliating, man. He's been a warrior for his whole life. But I think he should use his money. Like, this is Desiree Nielsen. She had a television show. She's on YouTube. And notice she's skinny. She's known as a healthy chef. I think Steven Seagal should hire his own chef and one who knows about nutrition and just tell them, only cook me healthy food. I think he should also hire a personal trainer. I mean, he should be able to train himself. He's a seventh Dan, but like I said, he has a mental problem, a personality disorder. He needs a personal trainer. Oh, who's this guy? I don't know who this is, but he looks like he knows what he's talking about. Maybe Steven Seagal should hire that guy to whip him into shape. All right, next up. This is Alex Jones, who is a radio talk show host, and this was from his recent trial. Man, he has really ballooned up, and whether you agree with his politics or not, you can leave a comment, but he's got to check himself before he's already wrecked himself. Look, his politics don't even matter now because you can just look at him, and anyone who looks at him can tell he's thinking about his next meal. Okay, he's not thinking about the country. Viewer discretion. Yeah, what the hell, man? I found this on Reddit. Look at the midsection, man. Again, the visceral fat. Look at his neck. He looks like a bullfrog. I used to look like that too, right? Alex Jones is my age, roughly. You can't be doing this when you are our age, Alex. So what's his problem? He's in psychosis. He has disturbed, confused, and disrupted patterns of thought. And if you've ever listened to his show, he does get quite dramatic, and he just kind of goes off the deep end sometimes. Yeah, you can't be messing around with that type of weight gain when you are our age, Alex. I actually agree with him on guns. He's very pro-gun. Okay, I agree with him on guns, but it doesn't even matter because his political messages have been completely overshadowed. You can't say you need a gun for self-defense when you're obviously killing yourself with something else. Yeah, dude, with all the stress that Alex is under, and then when you combine that with what he's doing to his health, that's a recipe for a heart attack. These things do not end well. I don't really care what happens to celebrities, but they're just examples of how humans can go off the rails. What do you think Alex eats? This is an artist rendition of what he eats. I think he just eats junk. Just pure garbage. What we're talking about here is addicts. Yeah, junkies. That's really what we're talking about is addiction. Now, like I said, I don't really care what these celebrities do. If they want to throw their health in the toilet, that's fine. But we're just talking about them as examples because everybody's a crybaby nowadays. And if I called you out, if I called the audience out, you'd get all defensive. So these are just safe examples. So this is how it ends statistically. leading causes of death. Most of them are diet related, but I circled ones that are even more diet related. One of my favorites, diabetes. People just don't seem to take that one seriously. So what is the answer to this? Well, here are the 5 stages of grief. Now, people go through these when they have a drug problem too, or a weight problem, because they're basically having grief for their former self as well as their loving, quote, relationship with their substance of choice. You get denial. Yeah, we've all been there. Anger, that's a good one. That's when a person has a complete meltdown in my comment section, as if that's going to prolong their life for even a day or a second. Then we have bargaining. That's one of my favorites. You know, there's a guy I subscribe to. He's over 300 pounds, and he's recently been diagnosed with diabetes. And he's still in this let's make a deal phase where he's trying to bargain, you know. He's always saying, I can still have some junk food sometimes, once in a while. Well, that's true. I mean, you can have something bad once in a while, but I mean, the scale pretty much confirms that it's much more than once in a while with these people who are addicted. Now, me personally, I'm in stage 6, revenge. The best revenge is to get healthy and then live your life and live well. And you can watch all the naysayers sink or swim according to their character. Now, this graphic right here shows that almost all of the processed food that you eat is produced by only a handful of corporations, right? So it's a cartel, it's a syndicate, it's a monopoly. And make no mistake, these are chemical companies. They say these are chemical companies. So if you're in poor health, it's not all your fault. I'm not saying it's all your fault. It doesn't help you that there's a gigantic matrix that's designed to make as much money as possible by selling you junk food and fast food. See, you have an illusion of choice. Oh, so many choices. But this stuff is all the same. It's just packaged a little differently. Each thing, they want to give you an illusion of choice, but it all leads back to the same players. Right? It's funny, people get mad at me, but they seem perfectly fine with this threat to national security. I mean, with almost all of the processed food, which is what most of what people eat, it's all controlled by just a handful of companies. People think that my point is that things are bad. Oh no, I'm even worse than that. Things ain't bad. They ain't bad for me, man. A lot of times the consequences that we see as tragic are just people's character coming out in the long term. I mean, your present situation is just an accumulation of your past decisions. Now, of course, there are random chance events, like if you get struck by lightning, but come on, man. Let's not pretend that we're all the victim of chance. You know, we are the greatest factor in determining what happens to us. Just like in this movie, you get what you deserve, whether it's good or bad, you know, you earned it. This is what really triggers people. They're just so shocked when I don't enable them. But, you know, if enabling would have helped you, it already would have, because that's what the whole rest of society does.